Good morning. We've got a special guest with us today in the studio, John Cisna, who's been touring the country telling about a cool experiment that he did with McDonald's only diet.
That's correct.
Okay, tell us about it.
Well, actually, it started off, I'm a school teacher, and in all my classes, we have to do all the kids have to do a semester project. And in that, they can pick any subject they want as long as it revolves around the biological sciences. Then they have to create a hypothesis. Then using the scientific method, they either have to prove or disprove that hypothesis. So I had this idea for a couple kids, and I said, how would you like to prove or disprove the hypothesis? Is it possible for a person to become better off eating nothing but McDonald's for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 90 days? And that's how it got started.
Did that get old?
Well, it didn't get old because there were two parameters I put on the kids, which made this really a neat experiment. Number one, they had to keep me on 2,000 calories, but more importantly, I made them track 15 different nutrients, and they had to try to keep those in line with the recommended daily allowances that the Food and Drug Administration had set up. So it became, Mary, a balancing act between the 2,000 calories and staying in line with the nutritional information that the government's told us is good for you.
And the remarkable thing that might shock people is that you lost over 60 pounds.
Isn't that amazing? I mean, in 6 months' time, I lost the 60 pounds, but you know, everybody's enamored about the weight loss, but it wasn't the weight loss that was such a shock to this. After the first 90 days, Mary, I'd lost 37 pounds, but my cholesterol went from 249 to 170.
Wow.
My triglycerides went from 156 to 80, and those low-density lipids, the LDL, went from 170 to 113, all eating what Morgan Spurlock has convinced the world is bad for you.
How do you lose weight on a fast food diet? How does that work?
Well, think about it. You've always heard the adage of calories in, calories out. The purpose, though, of this is to show it's a combination not only of calories in and calories out, but the right combinations of calories in and calories out.
What it sounds like it comes down to is choice.
Oh, absolutely. This was an experiment of choice. A lot of your viewers might have seen my before pictures. I weighed 280 pounds. I had a 51-inch waist. I was massively out of shape. And this experiment has shown more than anything that, look, every time we try to throw the fast food industry under the bus, it enables overweight people like me to say, see, that's why I'm fat. McDonald's is why I'm fat. Burger King is why I'm fat. You know the real irony behind this? In those 25 years, Mary, that I was so overweight, I hardly ate fast food.
Wow.
And isn't it ironic? I spend 6 months of my life, I ate 540 straight meals at the Golden Arches, and I end up looking like this.
Is this a diet that you would recommend for other people?
Absolutely not. And that's the one thing I hope your viewers take a look at is, folks, this was nothing more than an experiment. Just because it worked for me does not mean it's going to work for everybody else. Everybody has their own physiology, but this showed, more importantly, that we got to quit blaming food for our obesity problem. There is no such thing as a bad or a good food. A good or a bad food is determined by the amount of it that you eat. You could give me the best nutritionist in the world to put a very balanced meal in front of me, and Mary, I'll guarantee you, if I ate 4,000 to 5,000 calories of that well-balanced meal in a day, I'm sorry, but I'm going to get fat.
So you've been off of the experiment for 17 months. You've been able to maintain the weight. What is it like as a recovering foodaholic?
Well, I'll tell you what, that's the biggest challenge, and that's what I'm hoping this message can get to other people in the same situation as me. You know, it's different when you have an addiction to food. It's not like you're addicted to alcohol or drugs. I mean, can you imagine if Alcoholics Anonymous said, now, John, you've been drinking 12 beers a day, that's not good. I need you to only drink 3 or 4.
Right.
But that's what we have to do. And, you know, to keep me going, every day is a battle. But I've learned, Mary, that on days that I have a bad day, the next day is the first day of the rest of my life. And if I have that attitude all the time, that's what helps me maintain and overcome my addiction that have had to food.
This is such a good perspective to have.
Well, you know, it's choice.
Right.
It's my choice. This experiment has taught me those 25 years. It's been my choice of why I've been so overweight. And now it's my choice whether I want to stay like this or get back in the same situation I was years ago.
How can people follow your journey?
Well, the easiest way, if they just want to follow me on Facebook, or I'm on Twitter at John Cisna, they can follow me and see all the stories that have been written and the successes of it. But this has been an absolutely wonderful experience, and I just look forward to getting out there and helping people who've had a weight problem for years like I have. And that's what this experiment's about. It's about making a difference and letting people know they have a choice in how they turn out.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you.
And there you have it. It's all about choice. Back to you.
The preceding portion of Wake Up Alabama was sponsored by McDonald's.